Hey guys, welcome to the channel today, and I'm doing something a little different this video. Um, right here, what you're watching is my exploratory process with Midjourney. And for this video, I was going through and wanting to do Motoko Kusanagi, the major from Ghost in the Shell, and see if I could do some kind of a cool biomechanical, see-through X-ray kind of looking image. And I experimented a lot with this. And right here, what you're seeing is images and um, images about her, about Motoko. And what I'm doing is I'm looking for poses and stuff and starting to put things with what I'm exploring and trying to begin. So really what you're seeing here is like I'm getting a starting place. So first I kind of got some images of Motoko, and then this one you'll see I'm generating some x-rays here. And these are used later as style references, so I can start to put together and assemble a style and see a direction that when I start to put these references together, what I can do with them. So right now going through and just looking for some x-rays. I was getting pictures of Motoko, and you'll see that in the prompt it was x-rays of a human female. And now since I've got some of those, I thought, well, let's see, in the prompt, biomechanical cybernetic uh, augmentations human female cyborg. And these again are ones that aren't generating Motoko, but she'll be used later as the character. Meanwhile, I'm looking for different styles and images that I like, and mechanics that I like and styles that I like, and seeing which ones might go together when I start to actually assemble an image. So you can see these are just different renders that Midjourney's pulling back, just different biomechanicals on a female character. And you can see there I put then action pose falling in the prompt, because I thought, well, having her standing may not be very interesting. Maybe I can get a pose uh, of a character falling, and I kind of liked that one immediately. So, but right here, I just render a whole bunch. I'll render a dozen different ones and start to see what Midjourney's pulling back and giving back to see if I kind of like where the pose is going, or where the shot is going. And then I kind of like that one. So you can see I started to add those as reference images, the ones I liked. So I've got Motoko falling. We added an X-ray, and I also added another one of the female cyborg kind of falling through space. And now you can see with the prompt, now I put all that together in a prompt. And the prompt is saying something like X-ray view, major Motoko Kusanagi, biomechanical, cybernetic, augmentations, human female cyborg, action pose. And what we get is that the image references are pretty good in Midjourney for bringing out the the character and the style. So you can see she's got kind of her hairstyle, then the armor she wears and the clothes she wears. So I immediately was kind of liking the direction this was going, but I really don't like the poses. The legs are all just wonky and strange, what Midjourney was pulling back. And then you can see I added another one in the references. So there's 4 images now there in the image references, but with the paper clip on there, the paper clip on a reference gives a style reference, and then when it just has the image reference, it'll be the one that shows the picture of a mountain. And then I added another one, and I'll start to add and remove different images as I start to seek this image, because that's what I'm looking. Right now, I'm just looking. I'm seeing to try to find some kind of a style, some kind of a pose, some kind of a look that I really start to find I like. And the ones Midjourney is returning right now are just weird. I don't like the how the legs are turning out. I'm really not liking the poses, how her arms are placed. So those right now just haven't been very interesting. But I start pulling from the styles, which is I may like the shading. Sometimes Midjourney turns some images that are just really cool with the shading that I like, or the color palette is really on it. And you can see now it's starting to return very similar images with the references I have. And also, I've got this video sped up by about, I think, 100%, 200%. So it's going a lot faster. That's why you're seeing things go quick here. And I find that as I keep working with Midjourney, I've rendered, a zillion images with this thing now, probably 10,000 images or more. And there's some cool ones like that one. Look at that X-ray. You can see, her bones showing through his skin. I really thought those were cool. And now some of the cybernetics are looking really good. But yeah, this image is sped up so that way I didn't have to go on forever. I think at the beginning of this session, it took me about 45 minutes to get to a good image that I really, really liked and settled on as the final image, which you saw as the thumbnail of this video. So there we go. I'm starting to really go, this is interesting. The shading is looking really cool. The color palette's nice. Even how she's isolated out from the background, I was liking. And I found as I did a series of these, which you'll see at the end of the video if you want to see those, it was a bunch of different ones that I had done using this technique of just exploring images and using reference images and adding them, and keep recycling them through there and using the output as a new input into Midjourney. That the results were really good and they turned out much better than I thought. So here I've kind of found, okay, I'm kind of liking these poses. And Midjourney was interesting here because it wouldn't accept one of the images to feed it back in. It was like, nope, image denied. It just wasn't going to render the image. And I didn't know which one it was. And I think it was that one that it said it couldn't use. And I tried different things to see, and it just kept failing and saying, no, you can't render that. And Midjourney has community guidelines of appropriate images, so it tries to avoid rendering anything that is pretty bad taste, to put it mildly. Anything that's really kind of overtly going too far with with a look. Especially, I think, with these female renders, you can run into that it's trying to keep everything still PG rated. Uh, And so, yeah, now I've got it renders going again. I've replaced the images and started to find, okay, let's just explore a new direction with this since Midjourney stopped going that one way. And yeah, and then we started to get some cool stuff. There's those X-rays that I really liked, where I'm trying to see translucency inside her biomechanical or a cybernetic skeleton. And I'm not trying to be too realistic or true to the show so much as just trying to find an image that's like, this is cool. I'm just looking for a cool pose that says something, that reads well. And I did start gravitating towards these pretty heavily by this point. And as I start to keep rendering, I'm doing variations of this one. And sometimes you'll see me doing that as I'm exploring an image. I'll do variations. I'll go backwards. I'll go forwards. I'll keep on looking for this. And now I'm looking back again through my images to find which ones. Okay, I kind of liked that pose. And I'm either like the pose or the style. And there it is. It's not rendering. So now I kind of narrowed down. Oh, okay, now I know which image it was that Midjourney says, nope, I won't render that out for you or use it as an input. And I find that this exploration process that I'm going through to find an image is something that's very hard to just do in a structured video, like with a script. This really doesn't follow a step one, step two, step three recipe. I'm really looking and trying to find what's there and then feeding those images back in. I think if there's anything that I notice about my process here, that's really what I'm doing. I start looking for images, start rendering random ones of a character that I want to see, and then I'll start putting them in. Like this one, I was taking a look and I thought, well, that's kind of cool. This face down, this kind of prone position of her looking down towards the camera that way. And then I finally do decide that the way the biomechanics were ripping off of her and falling off of her and on her face, I didn't like. So at some point, I do abandon pursuing that particular image. But I thought I might like it at first, and so I played around with it quite a bit and just start to see what it was doing. And then now with these, that still came back to that direction I started to really hone in on. I kind of liked what this was saying. She's got the cord she's dangling with. She's got the translucency. She's got a lot of really cool biomechanical looks it's now rendering, and Midjourney's given me some things I really like with that particular prompt and that particular reference image I'm using. So I really started to start going this route and keep focusing on this one. And right there, I'm just doing some more variations. And since I'm using the Niji model, this is so um, anime focused. One thing I like about the Niji model so far is if you're doing anything from anime, characters from comic books, very popular science fiction or fantasy films, um, it seems they've trained the model very well. They've trained the model really good on the AI of who the characters are. So to begin, if you just wanted to type in Major Motoko Kusanagi, it renders her. It shows up really clearly who what her character is. And there you can see I'm really liking this one where she's dangling with the arched back. And I do start to continue that direction. And from here on out, my exploration starts to kind of slow down and I start to enter into a refinement mode where I'm going, okay, which images are really working? It's like, that's cool. That's cool. I kind of like that. Now, which ones are going to start to really read well? And this one with her in that pose on her back, I just hadn't seen one or done one, but it reminded me for some reason of like the movie posters. It reminded me of, um, some classic art from The Ghost in the Shell. I'm really inspired by the 1995 version of Ghost in the Shell by Mamoru Oshii. That's the one back in 95. I don't know when I saw it, maybe in 96, 97 after it came out. And it was just one of those world changing anime films that had all this philosophy in it and all of this, the nature of cybernetic, humans that had cyborg bodies, but then they still had their physical original brains put in. And then you had to have them serviced. And that film I went and rewatched again recently before I was started to do this series of images with Motoko, and it was really the thing I think that caught me the most about the film was that philosophy of consciousness and taking one consciousness and merging it with another, even if it was like the Puppet Master, as to an invented code, but yet somehow they could come together and blend together. I found that concept amazing and how it was executed in that film that Motoko just knew she wanted to go after the puppet master. She wanted to find out what was in this AI's mind, and then she found out that the AI was coming after her the whole time. That the in the story, yeah, it was coming after her. So now you can see in these images. I'm really enjoying just focusing on that pose. I was going, I think I've got it. I think I like this one. And I just keep going version after version, kind of fine tuning. We're doing small variations now, just hitting the very subtle button and starting to just really hone in and look for the biomechanics eye that I liked, the eye that I liked. It's important to me to kind of get what the character's looking like. What is she really seeing? What does her expression look like? And to try to get Midjourney to do all those at once can be a challenge to get a good look, a good facial expression, as well as getting the biomechanics in there. The cybernetics are looking good, and and the chords and just the color and the pose had to have everything all together where I finally get pleased with it. I'm looking at this one and I'm thinking, yeah, this has really turned out good. I've done an upscaled version, and this one was done upscaling with creative mode to really see what the creative mode versus the subtle mode of upscaling looked like. And I found I really liked the creative version better. Midjourney just really did excellent in adding detail to the upscaled image. So that's where we are with this one. So I know it's getting pretty close to I'm finishing up here. And here is the final image that I selected for this render of Motoko. And here's some more images to follow right here. Guys, thanks for watching this video. Thanks for kind of wanting to come along on this. I just wanted to share my exploration on this and my commentary on what I was doing when I'm creating images and how I kind of go on it to explore it. Now you can kind of follow along some. So uh, if you have any comments about anything you'd like to see, hey, leave it in there. I'd love to hear your comments about what you do, how you use Midjourney to explore character, and when you're creating a piece of art, how you take it from idea all the way to completion, and what you're looking for in your work. So anyways, guys, I appreciate you very much. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you next time.